Welcome. Thank you for coming to our School of Journalism and Mass Communications Awards and Honors event. Welcome to the parents, our students, faculty, staff, and friends of this School of Journalism and Mass Communications. I'm Carol Pardun. I'm the director of the school, and I'm happy that you all could be here today. It's always exciting to step back and look at the big picture and see what so many of our students have accomplished. Our seniors are amazing. Many of you all have achieved top grades while involved in a number of community service projects. Some of you work nearly full-time. Some of you have double majors. Some of you have studied abroad. Many have run for student offices, student government offices. Many of you all work in student media. I could go on and on about all of your accomplishments. As most of you have heard by now, we are deep into the renovations of our new journalism building. When the building is completed, I'm convinced that it's going to be a game changer in the way we teach journalism and mass communications. The students sitting here today will not get to have classes in our light-filled building with cool furniture and windows, all the bells and whistles. But here's the thing. You all have excelled in the Coliseum. You've taken advantage of everything that our school has to offer. You've gotten to know your professors, and you've demonstrated that good writing, critical thinking, and sound reasoning can take place anywhere. I hope that many of you will choose to come to graduate school eventually here, and then you will get to be a part of the cool building. But if not, I know that you will succeed in whatever you do. Even if you don't come back for graduate school, I do hope that you will come back often. But in the meantime, thanks for spending your 4 or 5, in some cases, years with us. We really appreciate it. It's been an honor to work with all of you great students. So without further ado, let's get started on the awards. And first up is Dr. Glenda Alvarado in our advertising sequence.
Thank you, Dr. Pardun. Welcome, parents, students, faculty. As she said, thank you for being here. It's a great honor for me to be able to present the advertising awards. I have worked with all of these students. I'm very proud of all of the advertising students, and it's a pleasure for me to be able to recognize them today. Our outstanding advertising senior, if you would please come forward, Claire Potts.
Claire has done some great things. We've heard her name called a couple of times. Semi-finalist twice in the Washington Media Scholars Program, Dean's List, third place salesperson of the year. She works at student media. I wrote all this down. I should just read it. She is the student advertising manager. She's been on the Dean's List. She's an honor graduate. She also received the University Award for Student Employee of the Year. So that was university-wide. Again, I've had you in several classes. I'm very proud of you. I know that your peers are very proud of you. The advertising faculty is very proud of you, and we wish you success. Claire Potts.
Good afternoon. Sehil Kim, the head of Public Relations Sequence in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. It is my great pleasure to introduce outstanding public relations majors on this beautiful day. Finally, I'm really excited to introduce Ms. Bethany Shiflin, the 2014 Outstanding Public Relations Senior. We, the Public Relations faculty, we're fortunate to have Bethany in our classes. Her 3.9 GPA is not simply the reason why. She demonstrated a true meaning of being excellent as a student, being excellent as a leader, and being excellent as a colleague. Here are some examples of her accomplishment over the years. First, Bethany was the recipient of the 2013 and 14 PRSSA scholarship. And she was also the recipient of the Page Morris Fellowship for Journalism Education in 2011. And she was a recipient of the University of South Carolina Woodruff Scholarship in 2010. Bethany is also the president of PRSSA of the USA chapter, and she is currently interning in the media relations at USC, Division of Communication. And Bethany is going to be the first class at USC to graduate with the leadership distinction this May. I'm so proud and happy to present this award to Bethany. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. So many of you have had the pleasure of knowing our beloved colleague Hugh Munn, who died last year. And his colleagues in the public relations sequence chose to remember him by awarding an outstanding senior who really represented what Mr. Munn was all about. All of his colleagues in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications miss him, but his public relations colleagues wanted to do something very special. Mr. Munn believed strongly in justice and equality and service, and our recipient this year is gives me a tremendous amount of joy to present this to Joy Ganaway, because she is one of the most altruistic people I know, no matter her age. She is incredibly altruistic. Her service is phenomenal. She has international service, and she's just a really, really fun person to spend time with. And I've had the joy, again, of having Joy in great name, you guys. I love her name. Having her in several classes, and Mr. Munn would be very, very proud of you. Thank you, Joy.
Okay, we have several awards that we give that recognize students who've won awards for professional organizations and things like that this past year. We give three major awards in the visual communications sequence, and so I want to present those folks to you now. I'm actually really fortunate this year because I've got all three of these in my class at the same time, so I've been able to see some really great work. I'll start with Christian Barker. Christian, why don't you come on up? Our Photographer of the Year Award. Excuse me, our Designer of the Year Award. Let me say a few things about you. Stand right here. Christian wins this award for his work in graphics, layout, and design work. When I talk to faculty, we decide who's going to win what awards, and awards that came up about Christian were things like strategic, very conceptually sophisticated, smart, and they use one word over and over again when talking about Christian. It was entrepreneurial. Christian makes his own bow ties, which is, he got my vote for that. So he's also worked as a photographer and a stylist for Garnet Black magazine. He's a features columnist with the Free Times, and he manages 7 freelance photographers for a business called Carolina Nightlife. And as I said, he makes his own bow tie. So he is the Dapper Don of design in the visual communications. See. Congratulations. Second award, Aston, if you'd come up. Aston is our Photographer of the Year. Aston has demonstrated excellence in her photo work in a wide range of categories. It's everything from sports to portrait work, product photography, landscape, just about any and every picture she takes is really great. She's especially good at working in studio lighting, and if you looked at her senior portfolio, which this group of people are putting together, you'd really be surprised to see these images are a student's work. They're just that professional. I remember one faculty member taking her out to shoot a USC football game, and he came back and I said, "How'd it go?" And he says, "Terrible." I said, "Why?" And he says, "She outshot me 2-1. You know, she really knows what she's doing." And I really wouldn't be surprised to see any of her work in a major magazine, a byline of hers in a major magazine in the next few years. So, congratulations. Sure. Finally, Annie Drowne, way back up in the nosebleed section. All right. So our outstanding VisCom Student of the Year goes to Annie Drowne. And the VisCom Student of the Year, Outstanding Student of the Year, goes to well-rounded visual communicator, who's also someone that demonstrates leadership outside of the classroom, and that's certainly something that's been true of Annie. Annie seems to have a strong knack for pulling together groups of people, creative teams, and getting the best out of them, making good things happen. She's been the editor-in-chief at Garnet & Black and for the last year, and during that time they won a number of design awards there at Garnet & Black. Last summer she was an editorial intern for Vogue magazine in New York, and the summer before she was a marketing intern for Harper's Bazaar magazine. She's also served as a public relations intern for Michael Kors, which is a New York-based fashion designer. So it seems that Annie is angling for a career in some kind of fashion publishing, and she's gotten a great start here, and we think is well on her way. I would just say one final thing is make sure, if you're up there in New York working in a magazine, give Aston and Christian some great plum assignments there if you get the chance. So, yeah. So our outstanding VisCom Student of the Year is Annie Drowne.
Our journalism sequence includes both journalism, broadcast journalism, and our fairly new mass communications concentration. We give 2 major awards for journalism students. The first is the Journalism and Mass Communication J. Ryan McKissick Award. This year it's being given to Sarah Ellis. Sarah, would you come down? While she's coming down, Sarah's covered the spectrum of just about everything in journalism, from weekly columnist at her hometown Clemens Courier in North Carolina to being a Scripps Howard Foundation intern on the Charlotte Observer's Metro desk. She loves news, as she puts it, telling stories about interesting people, which I guess is the best way to go. She's covered a wide range of stories for the Daily Gamecock. She was assistant news editor and for Dateline Carolina. She's helped lead Dateline Carolina's Our Web Pages project, detailing the extensive and often little-used property holdings of the USC Foundation. Sarah also boasts she owns the complete DVD collection of Friends, which she watches regularly. She just asks you not to judge her for that. It's my pleasure to present her with the J. Ryan McKissick Award to Sarah Ellis. Our second award is the George Buchanan Award. This one goes to Isabel Kershodian. Isabel describes herself on her Instagram profile as, in her own words, a fan of hot yoga and hot coffee. There are lots of food photos on there, but she really devours sports. Isabel is an accomplished and award-winning sports writer. Her portfolio already ranges from the Daily Gamecock, where she was sports editor, to ESPN.com. Her honors include having both the winner and runner-up in this year's SPJ Regional Mark of Excellence Awards. Isabel has been honored by the South Carolina Press Association, and she was one of the top 10 finishers in the Associated Press Sports Editors Contest for explanatory reporting. And that's a top 10 of all the nation's professionals. That was not just student work. This summer, she heads to the Washington Post internship, where one of her mentors will be former Gamecock and now Post Sports Enterprise reporter Kent Babb. I am very happy to present the George Buchanan Honor to Isabel Kershodian. Quite a number of honors for electronic students as well. There are two major awards for electronic students. The Outstanding Electronic Journalism Award for reporting this year goes to Shannon Ferrer. Come on down. Shannon came to USC from New Jersey with a dream of sports reporting. She's a capstone scholar who spent 2 semesters studying abroad, once in Australia and once in Paris. Well-rounded. I'm going to ask you, on your Facebook, you have a picture of you riding an elephant in Thailand.
Got around.
You did get around. She's also interned with the USC Athletics Department, where, among many other jobs, she was a model for Gamecock apparel and gear on their rewards page. I don't think she'll list that on her resume. In the SJMC Capstone Daily Newscast, Shannon has become the go-to person for reporting as well as producing newscasts and just getting those well thought out stories done day in and day out. She's also developed into an extremely good show producer, managing the day-to-day activities of our news department. I work with her daily and I can endorse all of those. She's also produced stories for ESPN News Campus Connection, and she wants to pursue that career in sports broadcasting, either in front or behind the camera, and she's now exploring options after her graduation in a few days. I take pleasure in presenting Shannon with the Outstanding Electronic Journalism Award for reporting. Our second award recipient is not here, but I'd like to say a couple of words about him. The Outstanding Electronic Journalism Award for Leadership goes to Nathan Caniff-Kuhn. Our students do everything in our capstone program, from producing and writing and reporting and editing and all that thing. And Nathan quickly mastered not only the show production and directing, he consistently helped his fellow students in mastering all of those techniques over the semester. While he was in school, he worked at LTX in the sports department, spent a semester working for the Atlanta Hawks multimedia division. Earlier this year, he won the Society of Professional Journalists Mark of Excellence Award for sports reporting. And Nate would be here today, but he's currently holding down the fort at Bristol, Connecticut, working for ESPN. He got that job as soon as he graduated in December. Right now, he's writing and editing for ESPN's flagship show, Sports Center, producing that show's headline. So if something goes ta-dump, ta-dump, today on Sports Center, the next words are probably Nathan's as he's writing it. So I'm proud to announce that Nathan Caniff-Kuhn has won the Outstanding Electronic Journalism Award for Leadership. Other division is our fairly new mass communications concentration. First, if you are here, the winner of the David J. Morrow Business Journalism Scholarship, Thad Moore. Would you please stand? Okay. We give an Outstanding Senior Award in Mass Communication. And this year the award goes to Meredith T. Gazes. Meredith, come on down. Meredith is one of a handful of students in the university who are graduating with the university's new Global Leadership Distinction designation. Originally from Huntington, New York, she's a political science minor. She has a GPA of 3.86. She's been honored as a Kappa Tau Alpha Scholar, a Capstone Scholar, a recipient of the Woodrow Scholarship, and she's been on the Dean's List every semester she's been here. Congratulations on that alone. Meredith has interned at WNET in New York and in the City of Columbia's Public Relations Department. She's graduating with a strong resume, including an outstanding academic success and terrific media experience. I take pleasure in presenting Meredith T. Gaze with the Outstanding Mass Communications Senior Award.
It is my honor to introduce our two speakers for today. It's somewhat of a bittersweet experience because I can remember both of these folks from their first day here at orientation, and knowing that day they were going to be great students and they were going to be great people, and they have not disappointed at all. Our first speaker is Annie Drowne. You've already met Annie. She is a visual communications senior from Connecticut. In addition to her work with the Garnet and Black and her internships, I don't think in 4 years I have ever seen Annie that she didn't have a smile on her face. So it's how she does it, but she's always happy. Following Annie, our second speaker you've met too will be Joy Ganaway. She is a senior PR major from Clover, South Carolina, right, Joy? The big city of Clover. She'll always tell you about that. Joy was in my University 101 class, and she was, as Lisa said, a joy. What she's done with her community service work, her study abroad, has been tremendous. And Joy, if I ever had a daughter, I'd want her to be Joy Ganaway because she is a great person. And lastly, from what I understand, she can pull off one heck of an engagement. So ask her how her boyfriend engaged. That has been the best story of the whole year. So I'll introduce Annie Drowne and then Joy Ganaway.
Being from Connecticut, a lot of people from home never understood why I chose to come to school in South Carolina. My guidance counselor never had a student of hers come to USC. My friends were all staying within a 3-hour radius of home, and I had never even been to the state before. But something drew me here, and I wasn't about to pass that up. Like every senior in high school, I changed my mind almost every week what I felt like majoring in. Nothing really seemed right until my mom discovered visual communications in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications here at USC, and thank goodness she did. When I meet a high schooler or underclassman contemplating becoming a student within the J School, I can't help but try to get the point across that it would be one of the best decisions of their lives because I know from personal experience. No matter the amount of hours I spend in the windowless, self-service deprived Coliseum, I never get tired of any of my journalism classes. From having to draw my house on the board in media law, to presenting my final video resume in advanced visual communications, to me, the journalism school is unparalleled to any other department at USC or anywhere else in the nation. I've met so many people throughout my years here that have majors ranging from English to engineering, and none of them seem to have the same educational satisfaction that I have from being a VisCom major. Sorry. It's not every day where a student can say they felt at home within their school, but that's truly how I felt over these past 4 years. Being a student in the J School has meant having professors that know you by name as you pass them in the hallway, being able to take major-specific classes geared towards real-life experiences, feeling supported by fellow classmates, having pride in the work you complete for projects, and so much more. I truly credit my amazing undergraduate experiences here at USC to the J School and the doors it opened for me. Right off the bat, they encourage students to get involved in extracurriculars that are related to our field and to begin practicing our journalistic skills outside the classroom. My advisor, Art Farlow, told me early on that I should get involved with the Daily Gamecock because I was fresh when I did whatever he told me to do. I worked as a designer on the newspaper up until junior year when I started shifting my focus over to Garnet and Black, school's quarterly magazine, which I'm now the editor-in-chief of. And even outside the classroom, the guidance and advice from Art, as well as Beverly Dominic and Dr. Eric Collins, has helped me land internship positions at Michael Kors, Harper's Bazaar, and Vogue. Being able to represent our school at each of these internships was rewarding and exciting, and I was so proud to be able to be the Gamecock that ran errands for Anna Wintour and brought mail to Michael Kors himself. I am so grateful to the entire faculty here that I had the pleasure to know, for they are truly some of the most encouraging, motivating people I've ever been around and helped me become the student and person I am today. I look back at the person I was when I came here freshman year, really shy, really timid, and I contemplated going back home and going to UConn. But here I am today, a senior who stayed solely because of the journalism school and who speaks at conferences to high schoolers about the benefits of being a journalism student in college and where it can take you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of today and for my award that's like beautiful. While I'm in denial that I have to graduate in a few weeks, I'm so proud to be able to say that I can leave here with a degree from the School of Journalism and Mass Communications here from the University of South Carolina. Thanks.
Hi, as they told you, my name is Joy Ganaway, and Art even mentioned that I am from the small town of Clover, South Carolina. Until my senior year, my town only had one stoplight, and we have one high school for our entire town, and I don't think there's such thing as a public relations specialist there. So coming into college, I didn't even know what public relations was, really, but the Lord led me to major in it. And as I applied to 5 different schools with 5 completely different majors, from business to sports management to public relations. And I made it here, obviously not very career focused. So as I came, there was one thing I knew I wanted to do, and that was to go to Africa. And so when I got here, thanks to my advisors and professors who encouraged me to do what I wanted to do, I got to go to Kenya during my sophomore year and to Mauritius again last summer. But during my time in Kenya, I think it changed the way that I viewed the rest of my time here. So I mainly learned 2 things, and that was that learning at USC is an opportunity, not an entitlement, and that the skills we are learning here are really practical and great for serving people. So, back to point A. In Kenya, you had to pay for your education no matter what it was. So, even if they could pay, it really wasn't worth it like it is here. So they didn't have anything. I actually went to a village where the entire village, they thought that teething caused death because they were chewing on dirty things. And while it's hard for us to really understand that situation, I think that it is important to realize that we have an opportunity here at USC, and we have an opportunity to live in the US and have an education. So from the classes and skills that I've learned here, I think it's important to realize that there's other people around us who would die for those, and I think that that's been great that I've been able to learn that here. I also think that there was a person in Kenya who, she helped me to cross the 6-lane highways. She helped me to survive when the Kenyan and Somalian War started while I was there. She told me where not to go, and so as I did that, she helped me along. And so when I came back to USC, I knew that I wanted to serve internationals, and so ever since I have served international students and officials from around the world. And since I've done that, I've just learned that the skills I've learned here in the journalism school, being able to write and being able to promote events and different things for them, has helped me to serve people better. So, back to my 2 points, that learning here has been an opportunity that I'm thankful for. And also that the skills we have learned here have helped me to be able to serve here, and it's going to help us to serve people as we leave here. And then my 4 years here have actually helped me fall in love with public relations when I didn't know what it was. So thanks to my professors and the staff here who have encouraged me, I'm excited to graduate and see where all of us go. So thank you.
This is kind of our movable feast in that we have had this event in different places year after year, seeking to find a venue that's adequate in size and reachable. Last year we were up on the top of the Capstone building, and there were such long delays in getting up there that I had to serve the cookies. I don't have to do that this time. It's not going to be quite next year, much as I would like to say next year in the new journalism school building, but it will be at a point, as Dr. Pardun has explained, where you can already see the progress that's being made. I define progress as big holes in the wall and windows that are boarded over. 2 weeks ago at a meeting of the deans, Dr. Pastides, the president of the university, referred to our future home as Charles's mess. To which I interjected, I'm really proud to have that mess, Dr. Pastides. It's been a long time coming. So as you become alumni and as you come back here, I hope indeed that you will come back to a place that is no longer windowless and service deprived. The recognition that we give you is recognition for what you've accomplished, but I'd also like to think of it as almost a premonition, in the best sense of the word, of what you're going to accomplish, what you will be able to do, each of you who is honored here going forward. It's a pretty good sign for us that you are capable of great things. You've done great things here. There is more to be done in the future as you go forward. Just this week, a Pulitzer Prize was awarded to Michael LaForgia, former Gamecock editor, USC graduate, works for the Tampa Bay Times, Unfortunately, he was an English major, but he's practicing journalism in the best possible way. And in an exchange of tweets, he pointed out that yes, he was an English major, but the editor who had edited his series of reports that won the Pulitzer was journalism graduate Chris Davis, class of 1995. So set those kinds of goals. You can't really go forward and say, I'm going to win a Pulitzer or an Emmy or an Addy or a Nobel or whatever it may be, but set high goals for yourself as you go forward. You've already demonstrated those capacities. Beyond that, cookies are outside. I hope to see you at commencement. Joe Biden and I will be looking for you. I hope you've got enough tickets. Those of you who are in public relations can look back and say, I'd have done that differently. Again, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you at commencement. Thank you.